combined heat compute. One of them is Eco Data Center. Maybe Stefan,
Can I elaborate?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, basically, this I would like to share because they are really, I call them lighthouse tower projects. And this is also on my heart because I really think these guys have really done their homework. They're at the forefront when it comes really to run a data center as sustainable as possible. And these are my friends in Sweden, yeah, Eco Data Center. They have 5 sites in operation. They're building a 6th site. And the site you can see here is at the headquarters in Falun. Falun is 2 hours away from Stockholm. And this land, this area, this premises belongs to them. So they have plenty of space to really extend. Here is the original data center site, and they're building here a 6th one. They have 2 in Stockholm, here in the middle of Sweden, so to speak. They have the headquarters in Falun, and then really up north in Sweden, close to the Arctic Circle, they have another 2 sites. However, what they do, they build the data center sites, and I said that this already this afternoon or this morning, sorry, completely out of wood. It's a wooden construction, it's a renewable material, the CO2 is already embedded. They're making use of the heat rejection, so of the waste heat. They fed it into the grid of the local utility provider, and at the same time, they transfer the waste heat, and not let it go to the environment. They transfer it here. You can see here the picture. It's a factory, and the factory is producing wooden pellets. So what the guys are doing with the waste heat, they're drying those pellets. And if you go in there and you go in here in the power station, out of the machine, there's still hot wooden pellets coming out. You know, you can really feel this. Really makes sense. See you, John. So and it's 100% renewable. They have wind and hydropower mainly, and they have been recognized among the 10 sustainable data centers worldwide from third parties, external third parties. They have been recognized as number 1 out of 10 the most sustainable data centers. These guys are number 1. And then of course here maybe it cannot be seen so good, but here you can see this is the energy consumption they're having with their sites. Crack units with heat pumps, altogether with all the sites 80 megawatt. But you can see here what I mentioned here, the CO2, the waste heat used for the pellets or the district heating system is ending up or is resulting into negative CO2 emissions. So the negative CO2 emissions are higher than the actual energy consumption.
So they save more CO2 emission than consume.
Exactly.
So in the result, this data center is carbon negative. So they make negative impact on the from point of view of CO2 emissions.
There are more examples now to come. Yeah.
Okay. So the next one example is in Norway, here in mountain. They have installation which use the waste heat, low-grade waste heat, for heating up the water for lobster farm. In these higher temperatures for lobster farm, they growing faster, and what is the beauty that they achieve middle size lobsters, which has more value for the market. Another one is block heating in Netherlands, which use also OCP servers, and they have on-chip cooling, and that water goes to the tank storage, where after distributed under ground pipes, which heat up the ground, and that in that way they grow up the tomatoes, cucumbers, and etc. But what is interesting that they have 40 kilowatt power input, and from them 36 is going for the heating. Very high ratio between power input and utilization. Another one hyperscale project in Denmark, in Oden city, which realized with Facebook data center, is used the heat rejection from the air converted to the liquid, low grade. It's coming for the heat pump heat reuse center, and there it is elevated to the higher temperatures, 70 degrees. And that 70 degrees water supply 11,000 buildings with heating and tap water system. And this is the one of the biggest projects from point of view of heat reuse in the world. Another one, also very important and significant project, which also use OCP servers inside of them. It's a Carnot, French company, and they have also very good ratio. They have 92 kilowatt IT load, and from them 96 is supplied to the heating. It can be air radiator or IT boiler, and they heating up the swimming pools, buildings, colleges, schools, and etc. And that is the way where you can go without district heating. So if you don't have district heating, it's not an issue. You can go with that solution. Next one is cloud and heat. This slide was provided by my friend Jaime, which is here, and he is also co-lead of the heat reuse workstream in OCP. But even in this small IT room, which is in the big building, it take the heat from the servers and provide the heating for inside of the building. So many of enterprises has their offices. In these offices there exist IT rooms, and they can provide heat for that enterprise itself and reduce the gas consumption. This is easy way to do.
So basically, sorry, I don't doctor, but this example Jaime can elaborate, but in the end of the day, it's in a big skyscraper in a tower in Frankfurt, and a bit higher there is a hotel. So they're using the waste heat to do the heating of that hotel in the winter. Sorry.
Yes, and as a result, you can see CO2 emissions. Almost 600 tons of CO2 emission is saved by just in another way of thinking. And that can be realized everywhere. There is no limits. Only another way of thinking. And